This is Mixed Digital, and welcome to, what are we calling this?
All mixed up.
All Mixed Up.
Memories, wins, and favorite campaigns.
So what we wanted to do was really just kind of reminisce about some of our favorite campaigns over the years. We've all worked in different capacities, working for big agencies, small agencies, medium-sized agencies, in-house campaigns, in-house positions, freelance work, and then together again as the Mixed Digital Agency. So, we've come across a lot of different companies, clients, industries, a lot of different issues, and some things that we loved and some things that we hated. But we're going to keep it to talking about the things that we love. So, who wants to go first?
I'll do that. So when I had to think about my favorite creative experiences, for me, good creative is always about, it's really all about problem solving. And a lot of the time with problem solving, for me, the most memorable ones are the clients that come to me with a really good cause, something I believe in or something that I'm passionate about, but then at the same time they come to you with we don't have a lot of time, we don't have a lot of money, but we're just looking to get something out there. We're looking to get noticed. And I was approached once working in a big agency in Manhattan on a small pro bono account for a animal shelter once. And it was a very similar thing. They wanted something to spread the news. The shelter was being inundated with pets, and they weren't being able to find homes for them. So after some real thinking, and they didn't have any sort of advertising budget to really put any media or anything behind it, so the real simple solution, and it blew up, it went really viral, it was kind of a guerrilla tactic that was great, is we bought hundreds of just plain yellow bright tennis balls, and we also had custom yellow frisbees printed up. And basically it was just the logo of the animal shelter with the phone number and the website, and then on it just said, "Wouldn't this be better with a dog?" And we took all these tennis balls, we took all these bright yellow frisbees all over Central Park in Manhattan, and we just left them all over the Great Lawn and leaning up against benches. And so you go to these little pockets in Central Park, and there would be all these little spots of yellow everywhere. And people would randomly start picking them up, and all these frisbees were going around. And we watched people start picking them up, and things start to buzz, and then we just let it go. And then probably about the next day, we realized that we started picking up some local press. We actually got we stirred things up a little bit because we got in a little bit of trouble for soliciting and pushing the line a little bit there, which is what you have to do to create a memorable campaign.
Right.
But the most rewarding part about it all is you come up with this simple, fun idea, and for really little investment, we made this tremendous impact, and something like 60% of the animal shelters were adopted within like a 2-week period from this animal shelter. And it created enough momentum for the shelter that they were able to just piggyback on this initial launch and this initial brand awareness that they created for themselves, and keep a very small campaign going. And it's been really successful ever since, and they still do it every once in a while, all over the place. And that's always been a fun one in my head.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, I would love to have been involved in that type of guerrilla marketing campaign. It seems a lot more fun than some of the digital campaigns that don't touch the real world, and it's all very ethereal. Mm-hmm. So I definitely, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I guess I'll go second. So back in my agency, when I worked for another agency in New York, one of my favorite campaigns was ePoker. So ePoker came to Reprise Media and needed to get some additional exposure and sign-ups of players for their ePoker platform. Now, from what I remember, so a little back, I'm a big poker head. I love playing poker. I always went to the illegal card rooms in New York, right, to play, because I couldn't get enough from my home games, even though we had, at one point, games every week. This was like 2006, like when Chris Moneymaker won the World Series of Poker, and it just exploded. We were just addicted to playing poker all the time. So anyway, so we had this client, ePoker, and what they did was they needed to get around the gambling aspect of poker because it was still dicey in the legal sense. So they created these kind of poker tournaments. It was a different system of play. You pay an entry fee instead of putting money into gamble. And it was all, I mean, it was all legit, but it was fun for me to be able to market on that topic and with that company. And I just remember I enjoyed working on that campaign. I enjoyed the people that I worked with that campaign. It was just something that stuck out in my history of all the campaign work as something that I actually had a lot of fun doing. And we had great success, and that showed in how we interacted with the client and the results that we drove. But when you have more fun, you tend to work a little harder towards things and you take a personal interest in it. It's not getting puppies adopted, but it was fun.
Cool.
That's my first memory.
Awesome. Yeah. So one of the things Mark was saying is that sometimes we have a hard time transcending the digital space and going to the real world. And I think that getting the people that are, they already have a certain level of popularity and they're defined as influencers in a specific industry, getting them involved to kind of push them to digital media is really important. And that's really what drives people from the real world, is that when you already have somebody engaging and looking for certain content, when you have somebody looking for it and you're already providing it, it's a value that you can really leverage and show that you are an influencer, that you really have that knowledge that's going to add more value to what they're looking for. So one of the campaigns that I personally loved was when I worked for Syngenta. And Syngenta is a very large agricultural company. They actually are Monsanto's largest competitor. So one of the things that we were doing was we were releasing a new fungicide. And that was something that's actually being released this year. But this campaign launched in 2015. They were heavily into trade shows because they could show a lot of demonstrations with their products, because we had soil and we had these cool plants and everyone was like, oh, that's so great, that's so cool. But what we really got to do was we got to get involved with Mike Rowe from Dirty Jobs. And he's kind of that rugged type, but he's got a good following and people are watching TV, and then they know about the Mike Rowe Foundation. So the Mike Rowe Foundation was donating, I think, $20,000, some large scale, where they were going to donate that to somebody to actually get them to learn a new skill and develop their education. So that was a really great cause, and a lot of people obviously want to get involved in that. We had him do a speech at the 2015 Farm Progress Show, and one of the ways that we kind of pushed that was obviously use the trade show hashtag, which people were following, and it helped them jump into the conversation. But since we jumped into that conversation, we started hashtagging. Not afraid to work was the hashtag. And when people were seeing that hashtag, they would go there and they would learn more about this contest we were running. So while using Mike Rowe, we created this contest under the hashtag Not Afraid to Work. And we had people of any industry whatsoever. The point of the contest was to post a photo of you defining what hard work means to you. So every time someone shared that social post, Syngenta would donate $5 to this Mike Rowe Works Foundation. And that $5 was matched up to $10,000. And it was just a really great way to get the word out about this fungicide, because Mike Rowe is actually promoting it and talking about it. And then we had people submitting to the contest because we love selfies on social media.
Right.
And Mark, you know all about your selfies. See Mark in the Sheila.
I'm Mr. Social Media, but that's, I mean, when you can connect campaigns with causes, with positive causes, I think that's a great thing to do. It reminds me of the time that I spent with The Body Shop. So The Body Shop, beauty and health products. I worked in their e-commerce department as digital marketing manager for a stint. And one of the campaigns we did was, so one of the causes that The Body Shop is really passionate about is sex trafficking. And we did this campaign where people shared, it was like called Lemonade, if I remember correctly, and people shared on social media, and for every share, they would put a dollar amount up towards. They would pledge a dollar amount, and up to a certain amount. So initially, it was like 10K. We hit that in less than 24 hours. It was so wildly popular that we hit that benchmark, and then they upped it to 25,000. So over the course of like 3 or 4 days, we raised $25,000 from this one social media campaign to fight to fight sex trafficking. So I mean that when you get an opportunity to work with things like that and they actually make a difference, makes you feel good, right?
Yeah, it's that personal connection that really, drives that response. It can't strictly just be informational. It's usually like, hey, we want to get you involved, and this is how you can get involved. And the easier it is, the faster we will get those people to engage with us.
It makes you work
Work hard, play hard. Hashtag work hard, play hard, guys.
So
Make it happen.
So back to you, Chris. Like, what are your, just kind of generally speaking, what are your favorite types of campaigns to work on?
Similar to what I said earlier, and then it just kind of popped into my head when I was hearing Steph talk about Mike Rowe. My favorite types of campaigns are when you are given a box that you have to work in. We always have that cliche, like, think outside the box, think outside the box. And then someone just hands you a box. And you're like, okay, how do I think outside the box? And one of the best ways to do that is just people, because you can't contain people and you can't contain personality. So when you have someone like Mike Rowe who's relatable and everyone likes him and stuff like that, it becomes more memorable. And one specific account that really comes to mind for me, where we didn't have celebrity endorsement, we didn't have that familiarity. So what we did is we created it. We were approached by Mercy College, and Mercy College was starting what they were calling a mentorship program. But unlike most schools who have a mentor where you're a freshman and maybe there's a senior or an admissions person who's kind of your advisor, they wanted to take the approach is this person is there for you no matter what. So they were hiring very young admissions people straight out of Mercy College, the students. And what we did is we took some of these people that we were hiring, we looked at them as individuals, and we made them to be celebrities. So we had this one guy, Matt, who was just, an outstanding athlete and went on to play some minor league baseball and stuff like that. And we made him kind of like the sports mentor that everybody can relate to. And we took Matt's picture and we had a stylist come in and make Matt look all sharp like he knew what he was talking about. A great photographer came in, and he was just a young man straight out of college, and he had his picture and his suit on, and he had him holding a baseball bat, and like the headline was, he cares just as much about your batting average as he does about your GPA. So we made these very personal kind of approaches from these normal average people. We made them celebrities. We made them people to look up to. And the response was fantastic, because it wasn't so much even the students that were looking for those mentors, but we were targeting their parents. We showed their parents, like, we're going to partner your children up with someone who cares about everything. They're going to, that they're waking up on time in the morning to get to class, all the way through graduation, that you have a job and everything. And I think really the best way to do that is personalities, because every personality is unique, and that's how you break that box that you're given. And again, doing so, we didn't have to hire actors. It was not fake.
Right.
It was genuine.
It was more
And
organic.
all these things really came across as like a genuine, unique kind of program. And the real result that I knew was successful is not only to, pat my own back, we actually won a Best of Show for the entire campaign in the National Higher Education Marketing Awards, which was
there.
that was one of the big deals.
I hear it. I hear you.
So
He's very modest.
Pat yourself on the back, Chris. Pat yourself on the back.
Really proud of that. But really, where you show that it works is other schools started copying what we were doing.
Right.
And that's the most flattering thing that you can ever have, when suddenly your competition is doing exactly what you were doing, and you were the first to do it.
Gotta make it feel good.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
fantastic. Yeah, it's great.
Cool. Yeah, no, it's definitely cool to get people involved. I mean, you were getting kind of like people who weren't famous and kind of pull that forward and make that personal connection. Like, hey, who really cares about your GPA? good batting average. Yeah, and that's really cool because, you know, I personally, I've worked with some celebrities who kind of have made their mark in the industry. One project that was really cool was for a company called INE, and they're internetwork experts who provide training on a global scale to people who want to become Cisco certified, CCIE, CCNA, all of those different certifications. So what we did was we actually had Eli the computer guy come in, and if you're you know who that is. And he's really knowledgeable, he's really personable, and it's really great to show that side of the company where, you know, we hang out with this guy and he's just really cool to see on video, and that's why he has such a large following. So we brought him into our office, we got him on the couch, and you know, we're wearing hoodies and we're just hanging out because we want to connect with people on a personal level, which is kind of my mantra. So we came in and we just interviewed people at different levels in the industry, and it showed that, you know, we're not just focused on making you this crazy expert, and we translate things into layman's terms so that we really can take you from step one to the final, you know, final certification, typically CCIE is the one they want, but we won't go into that. Yeah, I mean, we took those different interviews and videos and we released them over time so that people would not only see the level of expertise and the people we had previously trained and who were successful, but also kind of
Sorry, I had to take a
yeah,
selfie.
Mark's
I mean,
taking
you said it-
selfies,
you
and
said
I'm
it
just
before.
like,
I had to take
do
a
I
selfie
post? Do I
because-
not post? Yeah, we released these videos over time and just showed that we were connecting with people at all different levels of their training, and it was just really fun, you know, that personal connection. Hashtag personal connection. Study hard, play hard. Work hard, play hard. Mark's telling you to shut up.
No. I want to jump in. I want to talk about one of my, you know, another client I had that's totally unrelated to any of this. He has no positive value except for retail sales. So a lot of people don't know this about me, but I'm really into NASCAR. I used to race go-karts and quarter midgets when I was younger, and
Wait, are you
my dad,
Earnhardt fan or Jeff Gordon?
Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Yes! Yes! Yeah, man!
Dale Earnhardt Jr. All right, so I have.
I love NASCAR.
My dad used to drag a race when he lived back in California, so it's kind of it's literally in my blood.
That's sick.
We started racing when I was probably 8 years old and traveled to a number of different places on the East Coast. Had significant success. I mean, for the classes that we were racing in. So had a good time, but it was drawn to Earnhardt Sr. and then eventually Earnhardt Jr. So I own over 120 die-cast cars that are probably like this big, heavy metal and beautifully designed with all his different paint schemes. So I purchased them from different sites. Some of them eBay, some of them specific sites, and one of them is called Speedworks Diecast. So I would get a number of cars from Speedworks Diecast, and eventually it dawned on me to take a look and see what they were doing from a marketing perspective. So I looked and saw they weren't on AdWords, they didn't have much of a social media presence, so I just sent a cold email out to the owner of Speedworks. I'm like, hey, you know, I'm a longtime customer, I love your site, I love getting my Dale Earnhardt diecast from you guys, but I noticed that you're not doing really much on the marketing side, and I could help with that. So we had a little conversation, and eventually they became a client. That was one of my, I mean, to sell die-cast cars, like I knew so much about the category, and once I learned about the retailer and the different ways that they sold them, how they, differentiated them on the site and all that, it was pretty easy for me to get them some success. And it was just a very fun campaign because it just totally matched into my interests.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's so important because when you work with companies and you don't really know what they're selling, I mean, you have to do your homework, you have to do your research, because if you're just going in blind, you don't know what to talk about. It's kind of like
it's the difference between having to spend all of that time ramping up and understanding and really immersing yourself in a product that you're unfamiliar with versus coming in and saying, yeah, I know how to sell It's like I'm a customer. It definitely helps when you're a customer of the product that you're
Yeah.
selling. So as you get with larger brands, it's easier because there's that potential that you're already a customer of them and you have some sort of understanding to know how the customers behave, what they're looking for, because you're one of them. But yeah, it's always fun when you're working with something that you really, really like.
Yeah, passion for your work definitely translates.
So does anyone have any final stories that they want to share?
Final stories.
All right. I guess we can wrap this up. Thank you everyone for watching. Happy Mardi Gras for those that are out there
Fat
celebrating.
Tuesday.
Fat Tuesday. We hope you found this entertaining, at least.
Yeah.
We like to just talk about what we do here and what we've done for our clients in the past. And that's pretty much it.
Bye, guys.
Peace
Signing
out.
off.